keep pressing on, 'cause my soul is heavy. My soul is heaven now.
What is happening? What is going on? And what is the deal with my Raider family, man? You are back for another episode here of the Raider Rundown. But today we mixing it up today, man. Today we got a very special guest in the building, man. We doing a very special collab show for yesterday's game versus the Cardinals, man. So without further ado, let's not get into all that talking, man. We live on YouTube, TikTok. Y'all know what it is, man. Today we getting it in. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's play this funky music and let's get the show cracked. What's going on? What is the deal, man? Y'all already know what it is. Like I said, you're back for another episode of the Rundown, man. But we're doing a very special collab show, man. We got our guy Raider Alex in the building, man. What's going on, big dog?
Hey, what's up, bro? Thanks for having me on again.
Man, you already know what time it is, man. You know, we had to definitely get one in before the season started. Talk about kind of what we saw yesterday, of course. But you already know what it is, bro. Everybody that is here, make sure you guys showing love over there to Raider Alex channel as well, man. As we continue to climb the 3K, but go ahead and help my man with any goals he got going on over there with his show as well, man. But let's just jump right into it, bro. We got people in the chat, you know what I mean? We got people on TikTok, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into what we saw yesterday, man. So last game, right, of the preseason against the Cardinals. A lot of people that was fighting to make the squad, you know what I mean? After the first, we talked about it after the first drive, it got kind of hard. You know what I mean? Got kind of hard to pay attention fully. But what did you see, man? Anything you saw that stuck out to you before we really get into the grind of it?
Yeah, kind of like you said, man. First drive, I mean, it was to be expected. The starting offense put points on the board after that. 3 points on the board the entire game for the offense. A little worrisome. I mean, we did see some, players stand out. I think they definitely solidified their role on the roster. But yeah, just in general, man, I'm just happy that we just kind of got through this period, the preseason. Now, only thing left now is the regular season. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's it. And shout out my man Chewy, man, in the building. What's going on with you, big dog? Appreciate you for being here, man. Brian Rodriguez, appreciate you for being here. Good afternoon to you. Brian says we need a quarterback, backup, OT, and a safety. If I ain't mistaken, Alex, this is everything we needed before the draft. I ain't gonna cap. This is like that's here. All the positions we still needed, and all of a sudden we still saying we need it.
Basically, I mean, I don't know how you feel about the safety position. I'm not too worried about the safety spot, but for sure, like cornerback. I mean, we did address it in the draft, but it's kind of hard to rely on rookies to give you day one impact. As a starting quarterback, and it looks like going into the season, Looks like somebody on the outside is going to be a rookie or maybe a second-year player, and like De'Camion Richardson. But the point is, I mean, whoever is going to be starting out there on the outside, it's going to be a young player, doesn't have a whole lot of experience as a starter in the league, so that's a little worrisome as well.
Yeah, that's it's definitely there. I mean, we can get into it because a lot of people are worried about the cornerback position, and I done seen that worry. Carried throughout the week. But real talk, we have to understand where we are. I mean, we were excited about Darian Porter, and the reason I'm not mad, honestly, about Darian Porter, because he had a rough ass game yesterday. Like that, it was bad. You know what I mean? He was getting B2A yesterday. And if y'all know what that means, that's belt to ass. All right, he was getting that yesterday for sure. But we have to understand, how many years has he played the cornerback position, right? 2 years, dog. We all know that, right? So now all of a sudden we can't fluster and get all mad that he's getting cooked at certain times. Yeah, he's getting cooked. This is his 3rd year playing cornerback ever. In the 3rd year ever playing cornerback, think about it. It's in the National Football League. Yeah, bro. It's going to be game time a couple games, bro. I mean, he going to have to get trial by fire, but this is the only way that he's going to grow. We like everybody that knew Porter coming in, you know what I mean, and know all that, you pretty much expect this. I ain't gonna get you gotta kind of expect the growing pains of it. You just gotta see if he gets better along with it, right? Same with we all like Ja'Cory and Bennett, and that first year was rough. It was rough. And then that second year, you know what I mean, he came on and the light came on or whatever happened. So that's what you kind of hoping with Porter. You hoping it come on sooner, but that's just what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, for sure, man. Then also too, you talk about like positions in the NFL. I feel like the corner spot definitely one of the hardest positions for like a rookie to come into.
Oh
Like
yeah,
other positions, running back, maybe safety, things like that. And I think it's a lot easier transition coming into the league. But the cornerback spot, man, that's a tough ask, man. So we'll just have to see who the starters are gonna be. And even if like Darian Porter or Richardson or whatever, let's say they look pretty good out there as a starter. If one of them goes down, the depth at cornerback still is really, really concerning.
Depth is nasty. That we just got to keep it real about what we seeing, man. Porter just got to stick out there, you know what I mean, just to grow and see what we see. But Stokes is the one that's gonna have to hold it down, and if he's inconsistent, then we really you know what I mean. It's not gonna look good because we got to be honest with ourselves at this point in the development, right? If De'Camion Richardson was the player that people are you know what I mean, we're hoping that he can be, it would show. You know what I mean? It would show already at this point. We in the 2nd year, and we playing in the 3rd quarter. You know what I mean? And you know what time it is, Alex. We watch football long enough. You in the 3rd quarter. You playing in the 3rd quarter. In the 3rd preseason game, what that usually mean? You usually mean you on the bubble or you about to be trading crypto in a week. That's just what it means.
That's crazy.
So at this point, he ain't tackling well against them dudes, right? He's not playing well against them dudes. We should know what time it is with De'Camion Richardson. That's just what it is.
Right.
Blue Kelly, we didn't get to see, you know what I mean? But based on we just watched Pete Pressure, it looked like Blue Kelly just making the roster just based off that couple weeks of practice in that one game, in that 49er game, or actually the Seattle game too.
Right. Yeah, I'm interested to see who exactly are the starters gonna, who they're gonna be. Like you said, it looks like Stokes is, kind of locked in, penciled in as that number 1 spot. Which I don't know how you feel about him. Like when we first signed him, I was like, kind of iffy on him because he gave up a lot of plays at Green Bay too. So just in general in the cornerback room, I don't know if there's one guy that I'm just like, a proven guy that I have 100% confidence in.
I like Seattle. In Seattle, the first preseason game, I thought Stokes played well. I was like, okay, yeah, there it is. You know what I mean? It's showing up. It was nice there. But then in the second game, he was getting cooked. You know what I mean? Ricky Pearsall was cooking. Russell Gage was cooking. And I'm like, all right, well, that don't, you know what I mean? Maybe he's struggling against a certain archetype of receiver. You know what I mean? Where he's long, lanky, and you getting, Pearsall, he's kind of shifty a little bit. You know what I mean? But we play them type of dudes. in our division. A lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's all Kansas City has. They not a whole bunch of goddamn big name type of receivers, but they small and shifty. You got Chargers with Ladd McConkey, which I feel like he gonna average 400 yards this year against us. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because you know we've been talking this whole time, Alex. We ain't said nothing about no nickel. I still don't know who the starting nickel is. You can
bring
fool
that
me.
up too. Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're going Darnay Holmes. At least he's got experience, but it's also a guy that's not really solidified at the doesn't have a lot of great tape. It'd be interesting to see. I thought Greedy Vance played pretty good, and I feel like he can probably be a backup nickel.
I liked him.
Potentially maybe the starter if if Darnay Holmes goes down or doesn't play as good as we expect. But yeah, the nickel. I mean, like I said, just in general, the cornerback spot. There's not one player right now that I'm just like, we know what we have with him. We'll have to see. Maybe they go out and get a veteran, but they've waited this long. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. I would like for them to take a flyer on like a Stephon Gilmore, some type of veteran cornerback that can maybe bring a little bit of stability in that room. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, if he's still out there at this point, you can do it. I didn't think Gilmore had the best ending to his season last year, but he does bring veteran presence, so at least grab that. Like you saying, the nickel spot, it's just gonna be terrible because I like the Greedy Vance. I do like Greedy Vance. I think he should make the squad, but as far as like starting, there's a couple things I saw yesterday where I'm like that. A starting O-line or starting whatever would eat him alive, dog. Like it would be disgusting what they would do. So because he has some run fits he just didn't go into, you know what I mean? And then there's a couple of times in tackling where he had to try to fit his way in there as a nickel. He didn't really do it all that well, and they'd eat him alive in the regular season. So I'm like, nah. So Darnay Holmes is probably the best option we have. Only because Greedy's young, but it's like, damn, bro, that's our best option. Yeah, we screwed. We're screwed there. I mean, it's just plain and simple. Certain teams gonna take advantage of that. Now, you said it before we got on, and I think this is the only way that we can combat this. That front seven gonna have to do some damage. I mean, that front seven is going to have to carry the defense. I mean, how you feel about that?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like any chance for this defense to be like a respectable unit, the front seven, they got to be able to create consistent pressure. And I'm also thinking that we got to be a defense that somehow, some way is able to generate turnovers. And usually that goes hand in hand with having an elite, defensive line. If you can put pressure on the quarterback, more chances he's going to throw it into coverage, get an interception, or maybe, you get a strip sack. Things of that nature. But yeah, man, I mean, we'll just that I feel like if this defense is if it's gonna be a respectable unit, we really need to lean on that defensive line. We need players to get after the quarterback.
Yeah. And then the main player that everybody needs to talk about, that everybody will talk about. And I think Brian already, he already brought it up. Shout out to his stick, man. Appreciate you for being here, Dre, for sure. I don't know if I shouted you out, but appreciate you for being here, big dog. Raider Felon in the building, man. Appreciate you, bro. Everybody on TikTok, man. Thank you for being here as well, man. I see a lot of people in the building. Goddamn. I see Luis Torres, Pedro, Luna, Shadow Hunters, man. Appreciate y'all for being here, man. But Sean Johnson, he says we have to call Seattle and trade for Tyree Wilson for a third rounder. No brainer in his final year, and it's a peak guy. I don't think they're gonna let him go. That's the whole thing. I doubt they're gonna let Tyree Wilson go. I think they're gonna pay him. His stick in the building, man. What's going on, bro? That game yesterday was hella buns. Just watch the first half. Yeah, it was terrible, bro. It was terrible. Now Brian brings this up, man. Tyree is playing way better. And this falls into the front seven category of it. How you feel about Tyree? Our honest assessment, we've had a full preseason, 3 games worth, and he's had a good little chunk of work in this preseason. Honest assessment. Where are you at on Tyree?
I mean, I would agree. He does look better, but still super underwhelming for, the 7th overall pick. I mean, when it comes to, like, honestly, I'm out on him being like an elite edge rusher, and that's, when you draft a player that high, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for an elite edge rusher, a guy that can get after the quarterback, potential Max Crosby type of player on the defensive line. I don't think he's ever going to be that in his career, but, it is what it is. I mean, maybe he can be like a solid defensive player. I would like for us to use him a little bit more at the D tackle spot, see if he can, give us a little bit of upside there, especially getting after the quarterback. I mean, overall, he's pretty good against the run, but where he's lacking is he still hasn't developed anything when it comes to his pass rusher skill set. He's still one-dimensional, bull rush. So, yeah, I mean, he's looked better, but still not what we expect.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I'm trying to I'm trying to look up right now the best edge rushers, the edge rushers that were drafted in the top 10 in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? Like where can I find that? I'm trying to see something because I need to actually see what we're getting and what he's up against, right? Like cuz that'll tell us. So as far as Tyree, for me, I do agree with you. He does look better than what he has looked in the past. So that is true. And if you're saying that he does not, that's disingenuous. But at the same time, it goes into like expectation versus reality at this point. Reality is, yes, he's improved, but it ain't to where we need it to be, where the expectation is. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm looking at all these edge players that have been drafted. And we'll just go in the last 2-3 years, whatever, from 2022 to 2024, right? So 2022, you had Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, Jermaine Johnson, and George Karlaftis. Now, honestly, out of that, of course, Aiden Hutchinson, not anybody really stands out to me over that, right? So I'm not really tripping about all that. But in his year, right, Will Anderson Jr., 3rd overall, he's better, right? I think he's better. Lucas Van Ness, I ain't heard nothing from him, so I'm not tripping about that. Will McDonald, he's actually not bad for the Jets. He actually creates a little bit more pressure than I think Tyree does, but I'm not gonna say he's a super overall bigger, better player. Miles Murphy, right? 28th overall. I've seen him do some things for the Bengals, but I'm not gonna say he's a better overall player and all that extra either. But he's okay. Now, Nolan Smith, for shit show, I think he's better than Tyree. I ain't gonna cap to you. I'd rather have Nolan Smith right now. I don't know about you, Alex. I'd take Nolan Smith right now.
No, for sure. I mean, also too with Tyree, I think the biggest issue is like, at least what I kind of think, I think he looks a little bit better in the D tackle spot. So just right there alone, like you get a guy that you were hoping to be an edge rusher, you have to move him to maybe, get a little bit of value out of him. And, like I said, it just, he's not a player that, the biggest issue is we drafted him way too high. And it also wasn't a good situation when we drafted him because he wasn't ready to start week 1. Like the Raiders should have never started him. No, but he was kind of forced there because the whole Chandler Jones situation. So, we throw him out there. He looks like, honestly, he looked terrible those first couple weeks in his rookie season. And obviously that's going to like hurt his confidence a little bit. So, it hasn't been a good situation. At this point, though, I mean, I think we should still keep him around. I don't think there's going to be any trade value for him.
Oh, there's zero.
Yeah, he might still end up becoming like a pretty solid player, but I don't think he's ever going to live up to that hype.
Yeah, solid. You know what I mean? I think he'd be solid, but never, like you said, it's never going to be that. Because look, these first 3 players in 2024, I'd take right now, if I could, over Tyree Wilson. Latu, Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, for shit show, he was 19th overall. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's how we have to kind of frame it. We need Jared Verse production from last year from Tyree Wilson. And that's when I ask that question to people, usually the response is either stuttering or they're like, hell no. You know what I mean? When I say, do you even think we're going to get that type of production from Tyree Wilson? If we're not getting that, then, I mean, hey, you know, it's going to be a long season if we're not getting that type of pressure from the inside.
Yeah.
We got to figure something out. We just got to figure something out. I don't know how we're going to figure it out. But off of Tyree, which, okay, as a run defender, like you saying, he does his thing. You know what I mean? He does his thing as a run defender. So I can't knock him for his run defense, but that's kind of all we getting. And this next guy, kind of the same thing. Thomas Booker. Like, I like what I've seen from Thomas Booker. He's quick. You know what I mean? He's got a quick first step. But then, like, when I've really watched the film and all that extra, I'm not seeing like all these pass rush moves. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing a whole bunch of winning in the pass rush at all. I see it in the run. You know what I mean? He shoots gaps and shit, but I don't see that at all in the pass. I mean, what have you seen?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really paid too much attention to him like on film, but like, yeah, just watching the films. I mean, he doesn't really stand out to me. I just feel like right now, I mean, hopefully we can get just at least one guy in the interior that can kind of like step up. Right now, we got a lot of different players that, maybe can contribute here and there, but hopefully one guy can kind of step up and take that role. Because one thing too is like a couple months back, we did our, the season prediction and everything.
Right.
And, I predicted like 9-8, but that was also because I thought Christian Wilkins was going to get healthy. I thought, because he, at the bare minimum with Christian Wilkins, he's a solid, pass rushing presence
exactly
from the inside of the defensive line. He's not here no more. Can anybody fill that void? So that's one thing that has me concerned as well.
I don't like, for me, we asked the question as soon as Wilkins got released. You know what I mean? And it's like, I love Raider fans, but the delusion at times just comes to the surface too much, man. Because when we get to talking about, right, you lose Christian Wilkins, and a lot of people are like, man, I'm not tripping. We got rookies, man. We drafted rookies.
Right.
Look, I get you if you drafted them rookies in the first or second round, even, right? Like, it's like, all right, cool, yeah. You drafted a rookie, you invested high, right? So it's like, all right, bet. I'm not gonna be mad at that. Dog, when did we draft these rookies, Alex? When
was it the fifth round, right?
Fifth round.
I think it was fifth round. Both of them.
JJ and like sixth round. And that's not saying that you can't get nothing, but they're fifth and sixth round. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we're not expecting no Aaron. You're expecting an Aaron Donald leap from a fifth rounder. You know what I mean? Like, and even to ask him to play like this is going to even maybe go over some heads. Even to ask one of these rookies to play like how Christian Wilkins did in them first 5 games he did for us back last season, that's even asking a lot. I ain't gonna lie, because if people really go back and watch them first 5 games Wilkins played, he was an animal. He was an animal, and he was exactly what we needed. So I don't know if one of these rookies is even gonna give us that. That's what I'm saying. And if we're not getting that, where's it gonna come from? Like you saying, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'll even preface this too. Like I do like what they from JJ Pegues and Tonka Hemingway.
Oh yeah.
And thus far, they've actually like kind of flashed on tape, but kind of like you say, this is the preseason as well too. A whole different animal when it comes to the regular season.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be different, man. We're going against Now like first week, I'm not really tripping. I think we went through the schedule kind of, but now looking at the Chargers O-line, I don't really trip about the Chargers O-line kind of like that either. When you lose Rashawn Slater, your starting center is Andre James. I'm not really tripping about you like that. I ain't gonna lie. We can scheme something up. But like you saying, this is again rookie season, I don't even think people would just go into the wear and tear that it takes, right? We first time rookies playing against grown men for 17, 16 weeks. We don't know how they're gonna go on to the season, right? Some may do good, some may fade. We just don't know. But again, we're asking Pro Bowl level production from a rookie. That's not like, you know what I mean, a high top end rookie. That it's just it's a lot to put on his plate as far as Pegues, because I've liked what Pegues has done. I ain't gonna lie, he's been nice. But do you think what he's done so far in the preseason is good enough in the regular season to get it done as we go throughout the season?
I mean, it's hard to ask, but I would like to think probably not, because just like I said, regular season is a whole different animal. But I don't think they're gonna like start or anything like that, at least early on in the season. But yeah, man, it's just
nah.
I mean, kind of yeah.
We got Thomas Booker, right? So you would say like Thomas Booker is gonna be over there, but again, even him, like Adam Butler to me is our only pass rushing presence inside. To be honest, I think that's it. And outside of him, I don't think there's nobody else that's consistently winning their one-on-ones, unless it's Pegues. Pegues has kind of done that, but and Tonka to a degree, but it's still got to be against starters. That's our whole thing.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like with Tonka too, like even right now, Tonka, when it just comes to like his pass rushing skill set, I think right now he's already more advanced in that stage than Tyree Wilson is. Which is
same,
which is crazy,
it's very wild. But as far as the hand usage, you know what I mean. As far as setting up the blocks as well, or setting up the tackles, bro, whatever it is, he does it at least to a better clip right now, or a more technical clip than Tyree for sure. And like you said, he just got it. He just got here, so. I don't know. It's very frustrating because like you talk and then like a certain subsection of the fan base is going to say like, oh, Tyree is improving. You know what I mean? We're being too hard. But then again, it's like, this is year 3 and he's needed to be a very, very, very important piece onto this defensive line. And once it come week 9, like you feel what I'm saying, he not getting hella sacks. What are we going to do?
Yeah. I mean, he's in year 3 and there's no guarantee he's going to be a starter on the defensive line.
Right.
Kind of like you said, it might be Adam Butler and Thomas Booker. But, it's going to be interesting to see, like, what exactly they do at the D tackle spot. Just because, like I said, it doesn't look like we have, like, a legit guy in the interior right now. But I assume they're probably just going to be, like a mix of people, a mix of different sets up front. But whatever they gotta do to try to get some pass rush on quarterbacks,
Yeah. Whatever we got, it's gonna be a lot of blitzing. I can kind of see that. Jack asked a question: how many DTs do the Raiders keep? And who? That I feel like. I mean, how many did we keep last year?
Shit, I don't know, man.
Let me see. How many DTs?
We can look at the depth chart right now, and I can just kind of go through like who I think is going to stay. Or
last year we kept Wilkins, John Jenkins, Butler, Jay Silvera, Byron Young. So we kept 5. And then we claimed Lualu and released Byron Young. So it was 5.
5.
Yeah, so if we keeping 5, Butler, just off the top of my head, but I gotta do more thinking. Butler, Lualu, Booker,
the 2 rookies, Booker, and
Pegues.
I don't know if you want to count Tyree Wilson as a D tackle or not, but like for sure,
maybe they'll put him
guys,
as an edge so they can free up the roster spot. You know what I mean? So that's probably what you're looking at. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're looking at was it Butler, Booker, Lualu, 2 rookies. That's it. The 5. That's the 5.
Yeah. Which honestly is not that bad of a room if you just had another guy alongside of Adam Butler. Like I said, we had a Wilkins that was healthy that could that's actually not a bad room, because then you got those young guys that can develop a little bit more. You can use them as depth, and then maybe later in the season they start to contribute. But
real talk.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. You know what I mean? Like you said, if Wilkins was still here, you look at the line and you look at the room, it's like, okay, that's actually not bad. You know what I mean? Like, you got the centerpiece, you got the guy that complements the centerpiece, and then the two rookies that go alongside that you said that can rotate in for depth. But as of right now, like after Butler, it seems like it's all like just a clump, like a guys that are like still trying to separate themselves. You know what I mean? Like we don't have no guy, like you said, there's no separator in there. And now I'll say this. As far as a room that looked very bad the last time we spoke, right? Because last time we spoke was like schedule release. The linebacker room looked god awful. It looked god awful the last time we spoke. Now, they damn near, alongside the safeties, they the strength. They the strength of the room. I ain't gonna lie. A strength of the defense. I'm excited about the linebackers. I mean, how you feel about them?
Linebacker, the only thing I'm concerned about a little bit is the depth, but I do like the players we got there. I think Landon Roberts, we got a lot of guys that should be good against the run. Landon Roberts, Jamal Adams, he's looking pretty good at linebacker. Yeah. So the only thing I'm really worried about with him is, can he stay healthy? He hasn't done so the last few years. And, especially moving full time to linebacker, I mean, that's a physical position, man. If he goes down, who's going to be his replacement? I really like what I've seen from Jermaine Pratt too. So, I mean, I'm definitely the linebacker room is one of our strengths so far. But yeah.
No, I it's definitely one of the strengths, man. I think Jamal Adams moving to linebacker, that definitely you can see. I see the vision now. You know what I mean? I see his physicality. I see how he reads plays. He has great instincts. I ain't gonna lie to you. His instincts are crazy. You can see it around the ball a little bit more. So I love that. Pratt, the addition of him, I think that's gonna pay dividends as we continue. Roberts is gonna be good against the run. But like you said, it's depth across the board. You know what I mean? But I expect that. I mean, we kind of expect that because it's year one of the regime, right? I mean, if you really talk about team building, they don't have a chance to really put their feet into it year one like they won't, and we'll probably have better depth next year as it goes because they'll have another year to add and stack and do all that extra. But this year, they just getting their feet wet with the roster, turning it over a little bit still. So it's to be expected. None of these dudes can get hurt in the linebacker room. Nobody. Amari Gaynor, I got to put him on a milk carton. I don't know where the hell he is. And everybody thought he was going, shoot up and do these things. Haven't seen him at all. I ain't seen him make one play in the preseason. No. Eichenberg looked okay. He looked okay at times, but nothing I'm comfortable with. And the 42. Yeah, bro. Number 42. This is what we usually do here, Alex. Number 42, looking for one of these in a minute, man. I ain't gonna cap to you.
That's crazy.
Looking for one of them things, man. Because that right there, it's been a rough preseason for him. I ain't gonna lie, it's been a very rough preseason for him.
For real, man.
So
wait, number 42, which one? Number 42, who's that?
That's Matt Jones or whatever it is. Matt Jones.
No, I don't think he makes the roster.
Yeah, I think he came from Boise State or whatever. It's been very rough, dog. You know what I mean? He's been missing tackle after tackle. Bad reads, all the extra, not covering. You feel what I'm saying? It's been bad. So I don't think he make the roster either. Who else? I mean, like I said, Eichenberg's the only guy, bro. Eichenberg the only guy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one thing a lot of people are mentioning is that we don't have people that can like cover, which I mean that is true. I mean, the only guy that I'm kind of comfortable with when it comes to that is Jermaine Pratt. But yeah, a lot of our linebackers not too good in coverage. Another thing too, I'm just curious to see this defense. How well can they do when it comes to stopping the run? We know last season, especially early on, that was a really big problem with his defense. We couldn't stop the run. And, I feel like the defense, if you can't stop the run, you're screwed. So I'm hoping at the bare minimum, we're a really good team against the run, can kind of put teams in like obvious passing down situations. And that's kind of like what I said, maybe our front seven can get after the quarterback, create some things that way.
Now, like, when we get to the second level in the linebacker room, that's when we can start talking about like the pressure, right? Because Devin White can apply that pressure. You know what I mean? Devin White can apply pressure. He can blitz well. Jamal Adams can blitz well. Pratt, I do trust him to blitz, but he's the best coverage linebacker we got. Jamal Adams, I like him better with his coverage down below in the box a little bit. You know what I mean? When he's not out in space. So he's probably the second one. But other than that, that's all we do have. You know what I mean? So the defense does have depth issues. We got to, stay healthy. Lord forbid, knock on wood, do whatever you got to do. But we got to stay healthy over here on defense. So real quick before we continue, man, want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Appreciate everybody that is tapping in, either here on YouTube, here on TikTok, man. For here on TikTok, we are going to go ahead and continue the show. But think about it. We're going to go ahead and end it here on TikTok. Actually, maybe not. I don't know what we're going to do. But I encourage y'all, go ahead, shoot over to YouTube. You feel what I'm saying? Tap in with us over here so we can comment. You know what I mean? Talk about the game yesterday. But, make sure you guys hitting that like, subscribe button on both channels. You know what it is, man. Give a shout out to Raider Alex for being here as well, man, doing this collab show. But Cool Kev says Devin White can play the run. Coverage is the issue. 100% agree. 100% agree. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. His tackling too sometimes is questionable too.
It's spotty. Facts. I personally think Amari Gainer's still the best coverage linebacker we have. I would love to say that if his ass was on the field. I don't even know what he can do. I can't even say that for certain because I don't even remember him playing a snap in the preseason this year.
No, yeah, he hasn't got a lot of burn. I can see on the tape. I can see like his name and like see how many snaps he played yesterday. But
right,
yeah, he only played 15 snaps yesterday. So
defensive snaps.
Yeah.
Oh nah, yeah.
He's barely on the field. Yeah.
Game time, folks. That means and it was probably garbage snaps too. So game time, folks. That probably he's gone. That's probably what that means. Or he's practice squad. It's one of the two.
No, I'm actually looking at it too. Most of these are special teams. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Only way he does make it is if he's a special teams type of guy.
Now, yeah, 12 of the snaps were special teams, and the only time he got some snaps at linebacker was 3 plays, and it was in the late third quarter.
Oh no, yeah. Wrap it up. If he ain't playing special teams or making it as like a special teams type of ace type of dude, I don't see him making a roster at all. To be honest.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, man. I thought he was a player that I was like excited about last year, but it seems like maybe he's like an AP guy. Maybe doesn't really fit what Pete Carroll's trying to. I don't know, but yeah.
I thought he'd be one of those guys we we talking about with the growth, but apparently not. You know what I mean? It's not that Pete aura is not illuminating yet through the corners and linebackers like we needed to. You know what I mean? Because when we got Pete, that's what everybody's saying. You know what I mean? Hey, he's great with corners. He's great with linebackers. You know what I mean? He gets the most out of guys. Well, so far, I ain't going to lie, with the linebackers it is. But the development portion of it is where we looking at. Development portion is where we looking. Al asks, what is all this noise about Kyle Duggar? This guy's coming off injury, but still gets 2 interceptions in the preseason, but the Pats want to trade him. I really don't get why they want to trade him, but I would take Kyle Duggar. I do think there are more pressing needs, though, before we do that. I ain't going to lie. I think we have a little bit more pressing needs before we trade for a Kyle Duggar.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about them wanting to trade him, but I don't know what that could be about. I don't know if they have like a really strong safety room, but yeah, I don't know.
Shout out Chili Pepper, man. It's been a minute, Chili. What's going on with you, big dog? He says, love how Geno is looking. Facts. And let's fine. We can get into the offense now, because the defense is where most of my worry is. I ain't gonna lie to you. With the offense, my worry isn't really all there. I think we're gonna really get carried by the offense. I told you before we got on here, I'm getting 2016 vibes. Gonna be a lot of 38-35 winning these games, man. But how you feeling about the offense and what we've seen so far? And I think I saw something too before you even go. We were in 11 personnel like 93% of the preseason. So 93% of it we were in 11 personnel, didn't really change. And kind of a double question. How do you feel about the offense so far? And hearing that, do you think that's just us keeping it vanilla, or you think that's going to be the bread and butter as far as the 11 personnel going forward?
Yeah. I mean, so far, the offense definitely, it looks a lot different with Geno Smith, and it looks a lot different in a good way. Got a lot of weapons. I love, the signing of Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator. When it comes to the 11 personnel, I wouldn't buy too much into that. I think it's mainly just preseason vanilla. Even on defense, they're running a lot of the same coverages. So I definitely expect Chip Kelly to mix it up a little bit. But the one thing I am really excited about is how well the run game can do.
Yes.
Historically, you look at Chip Kelly, the run game is his bread and butter. And I feel like, if this offense is going to be a great offense, we have to run the ball effectively.
Yeah, no doubt. I think I'm excited for the run game. You know what I mean? I love what I've seen from Genty. Love it. But in seeing the running style, I'm even more firm in saying that the room behind him needs to be strong. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I feel. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I see his running style. You know what I mean? His running style is it's physical, dog. You know what I mean? And you just hoping that you could give him a breather. You know what I mean? You got to give him a breather. I'm not trying to give him no 30-35 touches with him running that way. His career is going to be like 4 years if that's the case, dog. I would like to kind of, spell him a little bit, but I like what I saw from Mostert yesterday. I like what I saw from Mostert in both of these games. But I ain't gonna lie, I might catch some flack, but I like what I saw from Zamir too. Zamir was toting that thing. So, we can be mad. I think, we just got to cement it. Zamir is better in that backup role. You know what I mean? Like being a backup, spelling the starter. I just think he's better in that than he is as a starter. You know them guys that just, when they get into that role, all of a sudden they're not the same.
Yeah. No, I think Zamir looked really good. I think he kind of solidified himself as RB2 in this room.
Oh, really?
He brought up, I think he's going to be the backup running back.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also curious to see how the running back room is going to look. Like, who's going to stay, who's going to – because I don't know, Raheem Mostert, to me, I don't know. I haven't really seen much from him. They also haven't really played him a whole lot, so I don't know if that's this coaching staff just being that confident in him. He's like a 10-year veteran or something like that.
He's like 30-something years old. So,
so
how much does he really need to play? Let's keep it a beam. But because we know what Mostert is. You know what I mean? We already – he's 33. Hell no. He don't really need to play. But we kind of know what Mostert is, right? Like one cut, still got a little bit of speed. The reason I personally still put Mostert ahead of Zamir, and I don't even think it's like all that much. I think this RB2 is not really RB2. I think it's RB2A and 2B, to be honest. But I think the catching ability is going to put him over Zamir. I think that's what it would be. The receiving ability would put him over Zamir, but they can still split it kind of evenly. You know what I mean? And I think you can use them depending on the situation of the game and depending on what you're trying to do. Like if we're in late game situations, not much, Mostert I need. You know what I mean? If I'm really trying to ground and pound, you know what I mean? Genty and Zamir will get it done. But in the same breath, if I wanted to give a little, if I wanted to go ahead and give a little bit of variety, throw Mostert in there he changes the speed up. You know what I mean? So I think either way it goes, it's just 2A, 2B, to be honest. I don't think they're gonna do it too crazy. More along the lines of who's the last running back do they keep is my thing.
Yeah.
That would be the thing. Now, I didn't like what I saw from Sincere yesterday. I don't know about you, Alec.
Yeah, I mean, I assume they're keeping 4 running backs. If they're keeping 4 running backs, to me, in my opinion, I think it's either between Mostert or Sincere McCormick. Who's going to stay? I think Labe, I think he's going to be on the roster. The bare minimum, he gives you a lot of value in special teams. He's also like that receiving type of back. Probably won't get a whole lot of burn as a running back in this offense just because we got Genty and Zamir over him.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, personally, I like Sincere because he gives you some upside, but just for whatever reason, it doesn't really feel like it feels like he's on the outside looking in with this regime.
Agreed.
And he's been injury prone too.
Exactly. That's the next thing. But yesterday, I don't know, dog. I don't know. I didn't like what I saw from him as far as the running. You know what I mean? Like when I watched Zamir, I watched Raheem, they were explosive. You know what I mean? Like when they got the ball, you could see a little explosion. They were getting out of there. With Sincere, he looked stuck in the mud, dog. He looked stuck in the mud a little bit yesterday. I kid you not. He was trying to make a cut, and he made like 15 chop steps before he actually turned the other way, Alex. Like I kid you not, dog. It looked like when the cartoons be taking them little fast steps in place, dog. That's what it looked like right there before he actually turned the other way. And I'm like, all right, that didn't look as clean as everybody else. You know what I mean? When you watch Genty, I've watched Zamir this preseason, and even Raheem. And I know some people are gonna say, well, what do you mean? But going back and watching Raheem when he actually has like a little lane and crease, bro, he still got that speed. I think those are the solid 3 right there. Sincere, you could take or leave. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you something that might shock you. I'd keep Dylan Lowry.
For sure, yeah. I think he'll make the roster too.
Over Sincere, for real.
Yeah. Well, like I said, to me, it's between Mostert and Sincere. The thing with Mostert too, I mean, he's like his contract is very expendable. So, like I said, with him not really playing a whole lot, it could just be this coaching staff being like, "No, we know what we have in you. You know, we don't really need to see you a whole lot in the preseason." But yeah, for sure, I think Labe will be a really important piece for us in special teams. Yeah. I don't think he's going to get a whole lot of burn, just like as a regular running back. But every now and then, he's shown some upside, and when it comes to receiving out the backfield, I think he has a touchdown too against Seattle. He had a touchdown.
Look, this is my thing. As far as like, if we're being honest with ourselves in the assessment of looking at the backs, right? To me, I just think the first 3 are set, and I think they'll keep 4 because they kept 4 last year anyway, and I think they'll keep 4 regardless. But I think that if they're keeping 4, then the 3 are set. We know what it is, right? Genty, Zamir, Raheem. The 4th one, I'm gonna be real, man. We saw a good sample size of Sincere. We saw a good sample size of Laube. Laube has made a play on special teams every single game this year in the preseason. So that's already 1, right? He's made a play every single game. And 2, when he had his opportunity as a running back, he showed quickness. He showed speed. Like you said, he had a touchdown, bro, in the receiving too. You know what I mean? I think that even propels him above Sincere. I think he's a better receiving threat than Sincere is. And we're talking about it in the running back form. I think Laube's a better receiver. So I personally would keep Laube over Sincere. I think Sincere's time is done. He's a good story, but he been injured too much, and I don't think he showed anything to me.
Yeah. Kind of like I said, to me, it feels like he's the odd man out. Would not be shocked if he's cut, which is unfortunate. But like I said, also not really. He hasn't been able to stay on the field, so yeah,
can't be mad at it. You know what I mean? Can't be mad at it at all. Now let's talk about the bread and butter right here. Quarterback, right? Geno. Now, Geno, thank God we have Geno. right? Thank God we have it because I could definitely see the difference. I ain't gonna lie to you. We gonna score some points this year having Geno. But that QB2, man, it's ugly. It's ugly. We don't got no QB2. Now I know people are like, some people say, well, who cares, right? Who cares? It's only QB2. You gotta care to some degree, dog, because if anything happens, we gotta be at least confident that for a short period of time, that person can lead us through the troubled water. We ain't got that right now. Either one of them. O'Connell, even Cam Miller, I'm not confident in. You know what I mean? Like either way it goes. What's your assessment on the backup QB?
Yeah, we're in desperate need of a quarterback too. Look, hopefully, like in a perfect world, that's not going to matter, right? Geno Smith is going to play all 17 games. He's going to stay healthy. But as soon as your quarterback, it becomes an important position as soon as your quarterback goes down. Hopefully that doesn't happen. It's crazy though. Like before the offseason even started, like I was super confident in Aiden O'Connell being a backup quarterback for this team. But what we've seen out there in preseason, he does not look good. I don't know what it is with O'Connell. It almost feels like he's actually getting worse as his career has progressed. Because 2 years ago in the preseason, he was actually balling out, right? I don't know if it's like the new offenses, in back-to-back years with Getsy and with Chip Kelly. I don't know what it is, but he's not trending in the right direction, especially considering like his play style. Like his play style is more of that, drop back, conservative quarterback that's going to take care of the football. But you're talking about a guy that had 4 turnovers in 3 games in the preseason. So super concerning about him. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. Do they just cut him or do they put him on IR? If they put him on IR, he'll be out for like 4 games. That gives the Raiders an opportunity to get another quarterback in here. Maybe after that they can make the decision. But yeah, man, super concerning on the backup quarterback position.
Man, bro, pretty ugly. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's pretty ugly. When you look, Aiden O'Connell has been trashed the entire preseason. Like you said, it's almost like he's regressed, honestly. And there was a whole bunch of people that said, oh, he might battle for Geno's job or whatever. We all knew that was not the case. Now I don't know. This Alfredo says we need a QB2 that actually has experience in the league. I don't necessarily agree with that though. Geno's 34. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's the experience. I don't think we need nobody that has experience. I think we need somebody that got upside. You know what I'm saying? Like that has upside and that can actually play and is worth a damn. You know what I mean? Like I think that's kind of where we need to be at. And let's be honest with ourselves. Look, if anybody gonna give it to you straight, run down and try to give it to you straight. We love Cam Miller. The story's nice, but he ain't what I'm talking about. And y'all know it. I know it. I don't know. Alex may feel different, so I don't want to speak for him. But we all know here when we talking about the QB with upside, somebody we can say, okay, maybe you go in, maybe you get a couple years. We'll see. That ain't Cam Miller. All right. It's a nice story. But for right now, we know that. So I think that needs to be somebody else. Now, whether that be, somebody that's released, you trade for it, whatever. But like getting somebody like a goddamn Jacoby Brissett or something like that does nothing for me. I'm just throwing names out there, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. No, I kind of disagree, man. I like me personally, as a backup quarterback, I want a guy with some experience just because, honestly, if Geno went down, had a big injury, either way, we're screwed. But the bare minimum, I need a quarterback that just, I'm just talking about like a scenario. Let's say Geno's out 2-3 weeks. In a scenario like that, I just need a quarterback that knows what he's doing, has some experience, not going to turn the ball over. Hopefully, just kind of keep this team afloat while we wait till our starter comes back. The only issue is if we have Cam Miller as a backup quarterback, or another young quarterback. In a scenario like that, the upside really means nothing to me because I don't need upside right now. I need at least solid quarterback play right now. So that's kind of how I see the backup quarterback position right now. Hopefully, we can get a guy with some veteran experience, and we'll see, man. I mean, a lot of teams are going to start cutting players. Maybe somebody can be available that we can bring in. So that's how I see that.
I don't know. It's just maybe for me, like, because I'm looking around, right? I'm looking around. You look at the Giants in their situation, right? Everybody was maybe clowning the Giants a little bit, but now look at them, right? They got Russell Wilson. I take Jameis, but Jameis they probably not getting rid of, and the way Jackson Dart played, right? But look at them. They don't have to play Jackson Dart, like, you know what I mean, like, at all. They really don't. But just seeing the way he's played in this preseason, that makes you say, well, shit, if it gets dire, bro, you know what I mean? Throw him out there. We'll be excited at least. You know what I mean? With Cam Miller, let's be real. Let's just look at our schedule. Let's just say we throw him out there on a random game against like the Broncos or some shit. You know what I mean? Or like we throw him on a random ass game like that. What's the confidence level?
Of who? Of Cam Miller?
Yeah.
No, yeah, like I'm not confident at all. Because, I mean, for one, the sample size is so small with him at the NFL level. Like, yeah, he looked really good in the Seattle game, but then makes a huge mistake in the 49ers game. He basically costed us that game. I think Cam Miller, you get a guy that late, a guy from a small school, he's not ready to take NFL snaps out there, at least this season.
No. Now, look, if our defense was better, I probably wouldn't trip as much. You know what I mean? Like, if our defense was like a little bit better, I'd be like, all right, yeah, like it sucks, but we just need you to not turn the ball over. You feel what I'm saying? We'll hold them to at least, like, a couple teams can say that in the league, but if we can say like, yeah, we'll just hold them to at least the max they're getting is 17 points. Just don't turn the ball over. Well, at that point, like, you feel what I'm saying? We can Trent Dilfer this shit a little bit. We can do it a little bit where we can play turnover free and run the ball. Because that's what we did with Aiden O'Connell when we beat the Chiefs that one year. But as of right now, the way O'Connell's playing now, I don't even think he can do that. Because he's going to turn the damn ball over. And Cam Miller, they don't trust him. Based on yesterday, they didn't trust him to throw no pass over 10 yards. He's over throwing check downs and 5-yard outs and all these extras, bro. And then every time he was throwing something past 15 yards, he was staring down the receiver. Legit staring down the receiver, which is going to get his ass picked off. And we all know it's going to get him picked off in the regular season immediately. So we're just hoping that Geno stays healthy. That's it. We knock on wood, Geno stay healthy. For sure.
Yeah, you brought up the Giants situation. I thought that was kind of like the best case scenario is like if somehow Jameis Winston got cut. But,
I'd love that.
I don't think. Yeah, I would like Jameis Winston because he's got a shit ton of experience. Yeah, he does turn the ball over a lot, but at the bare minimum, he's a guy that, like, if he had to come in for a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, I think we could win some games with him.
Oh yeah, with Jameis, hell yeah.
Especially with Chip Kelly too. Like Chip Kelly can work with that.
Yeah. I'm with that. We can definitely do something. But see, this is why in the offseason, right? I think I don't know how hard you were pushing, but I was pushing to find something, right? Like I wanted something. That Joe Milton at a time I wanted to grab. Shador was definitely something. I definitely wanted to do that at a time. That would have looked nice for right now. But there's multiple type of quarterbacks that you can try to grab. Now, Jameis is something that I would love to look at, but I don't know if they're gonna get rid of him because it looks like he has some type of mentor role over there with Jackson Dart. So I don't know what that will look like, but yeah, we're going to be reduced to like the Tyler Huntleys of the world and all the extra, the DTRs, like a lot of people are saying.
Right, yeah, DTRs are a name to keep an eye out on. Just familiarity with Chip Kelly, but, the only issue with him doesn't have a whole lot of experience. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hopefully, like I said, maybe that's a scenario. I mean, they could also maybe trade for Jameis Winston, but like you said, if the Giants are really if they're mainly using him to like mentor Jackson Dart, they're not going to do something like that.
Right. They're not,
yeah.
gonna do that. They have it good over there. I ain't gonna lie to you. They have it real good. They got 2 veteran quarterbacks. One quarterback in DeVito that had played already, won some games. And Jackson Dart that look good. They're sitting pretty. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right. What do you think about what Alfredo just said? Kenny Pickett? Yeah.
Dog.
That one, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of him, but like given the options, I think he may be the best option, especially he's in Cleveland right now, isn't he?
Yeah, but
they got like 5-6 quarterbacks. I wouldn't be shocked if he.
No, I wouldn't. But I don't think he's all that good, to be honest. I mean, none of these options are good. Just keep it real. But Jameis Winston is better. I would assume, but like we said, let's just take that out of our mind. They're not gonna get rid of him. So probably, yeah, but I don't like Kenny Pickett. I don't. That's kind of two in between for me. I really don't know who else to look at though. There's nobody else to really inquire about, to be honest.
Right.
Now, how are you feeling about Anthony Richardson at the time?
Nah, man. I mean, if he somehow got released, maybe you take a shot on him, but like to trade for him, nah, I'm not. I wasn't a huge fan of him coming in, especially like that early where the Indianapolis selected him. Not really on that train, but
nah. Let me see. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any QBs that we can look at now. Tanner McKee did look good this offseason. I wouldn't mind taking no Tanner McKee. I ain't gonna lie to you, but it looks like Chip and then somebody that's a little more athletic. Well,
Kenny Pickett, he can make throws on the move. I think the one thing is like at least the good situation about the offense right now is I'm confident in our offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
So if they sign Kenny Pickett, I wouldn't feel too worried about it because he's not a great quarterback, but I feel like at the bare minimum, Chip Kelly could put a good game plan around him, just play to his strengths, kind of get a little bit of production out of him.
I guess so. Yeah, that would be something where you could look at. Trying to see who else is on the docket. Joe Milton. A lot of people have this love of Hendon Hooker, but I don't. I ain't seeing Hendon Hooker at all. So I don't want to put my eggs in that basket. I don't know, man. I'd probably take the flyer on Malik Willis, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I seen him with LaFleur, right? Mm-hmm. And seen him with LaFleur going to Chip Kelly. I think it could work. I think it can be done. And he played pretty well in that little stretch last year.
Yeah, I think either him, DTR, those, like I said, with Chip Kelly, he can probably, get a nice little game plan out of him. But it just really depends too on this team. Like if you said if this team is going to be like 2016 team where we're relying on the offense, then that's when we're in big trouble. Because if we got a backup quarterback, we can't expect a backup to be able to put up, 25, 30 points on a consistent basis.
Oh yeah. It's a wrap. That would be a wrap. So last but not least, we talk about the receivers a little bit, kind of what we saw, and then we can get ready to get on out of here. But Thornton with a touchdown, right? Nice touchdown. And he dropped that same type of pass in Seattle. He had that back shoulder in Seattle. Geno threw him. He dropped that. This week, he catches it. So I'm excited to see that type of growth from him. What are you seeing from Thornton?
He's probably one of the best players, in the preseason that I can take. He's probably one of the most, the brightest spots on this team thus far. Looking really good. What I love too is, like you said, that back shoulder fade. That's kind of what we need from him. We just need him to not be one-dimensional because we know he can take the top off the defense. And theoretically, man, you can make the argument this kid should already have 3 touchdowns in the preseason, right? He had that one against Seattle that he was open. He had, a step and a half on his man. O'Connell throws it late, throws it too short, results in a pick. And then also against the 49ers, got a step on his man. Gino just slightly overthrows it. So yeah, man, I love what I'm seeing from Thornton Jr. Can be that true vertical threat on this offense, take the top off the defense. And if he can just add that element, the back shoulder fade, some intermediate game, he could be a fucking fantastic weapon for this offense.
100% agree. I was saying it too, man. Like, you got to add that back shoulder because of your speed, because of your, height. Everybody's going to play him a certain way, unless you're Patrick Surtain, and that's a whole different story. But, like, if they're going to play him a certain way, that could gain you so many cheap yards, just being able to do that back shoulder. You know what I mean? Just so many cheap yards on the defense. And then the only thing for me that I continue to harp on, and it's only because I'm like really like paying attention, we got to continue to work on the route running. Like, the route running has got to continue to get worked on. There's still minimal space, right? There's still minimal space. Now, he did a better job yesterday of working his body closer away from the sidelines. You know what I mean? Because against the 49ers, he was running that fade route. He gave Gino like no room to
he's
throw
like out of bounds, basically.
Exactly.
So.
He gave Gino no room. This week, he did a little bit better. But, you know what I mean? We just got to keep working on that. And that's one of the things I say he had to work on anyway coming out of the draft. I mean, it's not super polished. You know what I mean? So we already know that coming in. But once he continues to work on that, it's going to be a wrap. My question to you is, because every time I watch him, I question why he's not playing more. Like, why are we not seeing more Jack Bech? I don't understand it, to be honest with you. I watch him during the games and on film, and I'm like, bro, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He blocks well. The routes are not all the way there, but they're crisp enough. You can tell he's more technical right now than Dante Thornton. I ain't gonna lie to you. And his hands are pretty solid. What am I missing, Alex? What's going on, bro? Why is he not playing?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the reason with Jack Bech too is, part of it is not his fault. I mean, Wilson just got, like, especially in the regular season, he might struggle to be out there on the field. Part of that too is we just got a lot of weapons. Like, we got Jacoby Myers ahead of him. Right now Thornton Jr. has already surpassed him. So obviously we got the Brock Bowers of the world. Looks like Trey Tucker is going to be in that slot position. I think with Jack Bech though, the one thing that's hurting him is the fact that he's not really creating a lot of separation.
Yeah,
especially on a consistent basis. I mean, we know he has strong hands. He's a good blocker. So that's a huge upside. We want to run the football. And to do that, we need guys to get involved in the blocking game at the wide receiver position. But, a little worried about Jack Bech, just mainly due to that. Just I'm not seeing the separation. And also, too, I don't know how well he's going to be able to be like consistently on the outside, because if it seems like so far his best production has been in the slot. But I feel like in the slot we're mainly going to use Brock Bowers and Trey Tucker. So that's the thing with him.
That's exactly where I was going with it, Alex. I like him outside. I think they're trying to get him work outside, right? I think that's like what the plan is. But let's be honest with ourselves. He's more of a Puka Nacua type of receiver where they work in the inside, right? Like, they work in the slot mainly. But the problem is they got Jacoby in the slot right now. I think that's the issue, to be honest. And I think that plays into the fact he's not playing either, because Jacoby is there. But I'm not gonna lie though. It looks a little weird, right? It looks a little weird that Jacoby maybe has not gotten a contract extension, right? You look, and usually they say, like, we want to take care of everybody. You would expect him to be after Colton, but I've been talking about this for a while, bro. The fact that we all know that Jack Bech's best skill set is in the slot, right? We know that. We know he kind of needs that two-way go to be physical, to really get open. And right now we have a receiver that has an expiring contract right there. Like, the writing low key is kind of on the wall a little bit, but I don't know how like invested in the plan they are to say like, all right, we're gonna let him go and let Jack Bech take that spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah. As soon as we drafted Jack Bech, I kind of picked up on that. I was like, this could be the replacement of Jacoby Myers. I mean, I love what Jacoby Myers has done for us, but we know how the NFL is, man. It's already been. I mean, Josh McDaniels hired him. It's 2 regimes later. Sometimes, it's just not the fit. Sometimes they don't want to spend that much money, at the wide receiver position. I get that. But at least so far, I feel like it's been a little bit underwhelming for Jack Bech. If he would look better in the preseason, making more plays, then I think for sure the writing would be on the wall. But right now, I mean, I don't know. It's a little shaky what they're going to do.
I'm kind of mad though that they're not playing him where he's supposed to, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we know he's better as a slot. I haven't seen him there much. You know what I mean? I've seen him more on the outside, which if they want to get him work there, I get it. But he's better when he has a two-way go. Yeah.
But my only issue with him, though, is like, at least when we drafted him, I thought he was going to be more primarily outside, right? I thought he was going to be more of an outside wide receiver that kind of like Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is outside wide receiver, but you can also play him in the slot. If he's a guy that's going to mainly, have to get his production in the slot, that's the one thing, like I said, I think we're going to see a lot of Brock Bowers in the slot and more of Trey Tucker in the slot. So that's where – so far, I mean, it's a little bit underwhelming, but at the same time, he's a rookie, so I'm not going to overreact. No. Part of it, too, is you see Deontay Thornton Jr. looking phenomenal, so obviously that's going to make Jack Bech, who we drafted a couple rounds earlier, not look as good, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's the fact, you know what I mean, it seems like they've carved a rollout more so for Thornton than they have for Bech. It's like, all right, you're 6'5", you're 4'3". So, all right, we know what you can do over here. We're just going to throw you, you know what I mean? We're going to throw you all these deep fades and back shoulder throws. Whereas Jack Bech is more like, you got to scheme that. You know what I mean? You got to scheme that a little bit or put him in positions to win. You know what I mean? Like where I could say, all right, dog, go ahead. Let's get you matched up here. Because I'm not going to lie to you, matched up against a linebacker, I like, right? Matched up against a safety, I like. I think he's going to eat against that type of coverage. Now, putting him out on the outside where you got to go against motherfuckers like, again, I'm just looking at our division. Trent McDuffie, Pat Surtain, and all the extra. That's not where, you know what I mean? That's not where I need him to be. I don't think that bodes well for his skill set. Them dudes are too athletic, too long, right? Like he's physical, yeah, but that type of matchup ain't gonna work for Jack Bech. So I don't know. More so, bro, I'm going to be real with you. I feel like it's a clump of guys in the receiver room that have the same type of skill set. That's just what it is. Jack Bech got that skill set kind of Jacoby has. You know what I mean? Trey Tucker's a tweener. We don't know what he is really. Slot, outside. We have zero clue. There's no separation. There's no, like, Thornton is the only guy, like, he's 6'5", 4'3", but there's not no guy in the receiver room to me. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I mean, in the wide receiver room, like, yeah. But, the good thing is we got the best tight end in football, though. Brock Bowers. Yeah. So that's the good thing. But, yeah, I think the another thing that I really like about Thornton Jr. is just having him out there on the field. Like, it's going to open up opportunities for other guys, too. Because just having him out there with that deep ball threat, I mean, safety, they're gonna have to be aware of him at all times. Yep. And if they play that deep coverage on him, it can open up the production of other guys underneath. Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker. So that's the thing I really like about Thornton Jr. I hope we see him on the field a lot. I think he can be a pivotal piece on this offense.
We'll see what we'll see what New England does week 1 because we'll see what they do with their nice corner over there. Will they take the name is drawing me a blank, but I love him. I love him over there. What's his name? Christian Gonzalez. Will they take Gonzalez and play him on Bowers? You know what I mean? Is that what they'll do? Or where will he play? That's gonna be the question mark for me. Other than that, I think we'll be able to score against New England. You know what I mean? I'm not, but him, that D line is nice though. So we're gonna have to run the ball and be a little physical over there. I ain't gonna
For
lie.
sure. Yeah. I'm also interested to see how Chip Kelly's going to use his wide receivers in the running game, especially a guy like Thornton. Like, he's going to use them in like jet sweeps or like,
Right.
quick screen games and stuff like that. Well, that's another thing I'm really interested about too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we'll be able to eat in the passing game against New England. Like I said, wherever they play Gonzalez, that's where you can sit around and say we can attack other places for real. Because I don't, they got Spillane and all the extra, but we know Spillane in coverage. Especially if you get matched up against certain guys. Like if I got it matched up against Genty and all that, like it's a wrap. To be honest. So
Yeah.
we'll see how we go there. But that, ladies and gents, ladies and germs, has been the show, man. We pretty much done went through everything. Real quick before we do get out of here, man, what's your last little assessment? Because I know you probably gonna do something before cut day tomorrow or whatever the case. What's your last little assessment before we get on out of here about yesterday's game?
I mean, it was kind of a hard game to watch, but I think there were some winners. I like what I saw from Zamir White. Kuntz, I mean, he finally kind of emerged out there. He got his first sack. Hopefully, he can continue to build off of that. Definitely some guys I did not. I think some losers. Obviously, Aiden O'Connell. We'll have to see what his future ends up being with the silver and black. Also, too, some guys on the offensive line. Thayer Mumford, Alex Kappa. Yeah. Did not like what I see. So when it comes to the offensive line, especially that right side, the depth I am very concerned about. If JPJ went down at some point or if DJ Glaze went down, I'm definitely really worried about that.
Yeah. Rundown of it. I agree with you, right? That Thayer Mumford, that was ugly, man. Thayer Mumford's been ugly the whole entire preseason. He's not played well. So concerning there. Kappa first game back. How much do you put on that being his first game back? But didn't look good at all. So there is no competition at right guard. We can drop that. Good. I mean, this dude surprised me, man. Charles Grant has played better than I thought he would play to start it off. He looked pretty solid over there, man. I ain't gonna lie. I like the development, and I love where he's at. And I can be so happy about it because I know he don't have to play, right? Like knowing he don't have to play and we can take that slow and really focus on his development. I like where he at. To continue that. Backup running back, I love the competition there because both of them look pretty good as far as Mostert, Zamir. But like you said, that second, we go off to it again. That secondary, man. That secondary is it's going to be a little ugly, especially going against certain teams that we're going to have to play this year that really like to air it out and throw the ball around the yard. You know what I mean? So we got to be getting pressure. It's all going to be a lot of pressure on that front seven to impact the game. So we'll see what we have there, man. But long and short of it, I'm a little even more comfortable in my assessment of like 8 games. That of where that's where we go as far as wins. I'm comfortable in that assessment.
Yeah, I kind of got us around that range. A couple months back, I said 9-8, but I was also with Wilkins here. I got to give that maybe -1 game. It depends, man. It depends on a lot of different factors. The run game, how well can we get that going? Like you said, the front seven. But yeah, I mean, the good thing though is like we're done with the preseason. Next time, we're gonna see the regular season, and the season is like right around the corner. So I love that.
Yeah. Next time we talk, next time we holler, man, it might be or it's going to be during the season. So we'll see how it starts. We got to start off fast. That's just what it is, man. If we start off fast, we'll be able to, weather the storm of whatever comes our way after that. You know what I mean? Either the mid-season lag or whatever it is. But appreciate everybody for being here, man. Once again, if you did miss a little portion of the show, don't trip, man. Go back, watch a little bit of that thing, man. You already know what it is. Very good conversation today. Appreciate everybody that was tapping in here on YouTube and on TikTok as well, man. Appreciate Raider Alex again for the collab show, man. It was dope. We definitely got to keep doing it again. Anything you want to tap the people into? Any content you got coming out?
No, man, just like if anybody that's new, yo, make sure to make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, I'm active on Instagram too at Raider Alex Official. So yeah, man, just thank you guys, and yeah, if you haven't done so, also subscribe to Rundown. And yeah, definitely, like you said, I mean, hopefully in the season we can do more of these, like maybe post game throughout the season. But yeah, just stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, we definitely gonna try to link this up again, for sure. And y'all already know, man. Make sure you guys hit the like, hit the subscribe button, for my channel as well. At the same time, I will be going live tomorrow. I believe we're gonna be doing a little cut day prediction. So make sure you guys tapping in for that. We're gonna see, who we predict, who we were right about, as far as who we keep on the roster, who we do not keep on the roster. So tune in for that tomorrow. It's going to be a very dope one. We're going to set the link up today, and it's going to be real. Other than that, appreciate everybody for being here. Y'all already know what it is, man. Hit all the like buttons, hit all that good shit. But you know what I say every time, man, before we going out of here, we keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown. Hey, season's almost upon us. Next time we do something like this, it's going to be the season. So I'm ready for it. You already know what time it is, but appreciate everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Till then, peace.